Hey good people, welcome back to Money's Book List. So your girl is back. New favorite cookbook is this. Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat. This is the science behind cooking, pretty much. This book, I actually borrowed this book from the library. Loved it so much. My husband enjoyed it. I bought a copy. I think this is a pretty awesome cookbook. I really say that technically, is it a cookbook? Are there really recipes in it, or more? Is it more of a reference book? I would say it's more of a reference book, but this is awesome. You should pick it up, or at least borrow it from your local library. It's pretty awesome. Also, this one actually does have recipes in it. Anything by this group of, as you see here, America's Test Kitchen. Yeah, anything by America's Test Kitchen. Anything. So this is their complete make it ahead cookbook, basically like how you prep meals and cook them ahead. And again, the great thing about America's Test Kitchen is they have a huge cookbook. It's about like 1,000 pages, and in this cookbook there are recipes, the best way to make stuff, the reason, and that kind of the thing about America's Test Kitchen is like they will tell you the best products to make because they do all the testing. And they're very honest. The way I discovered them was my best friend. They're on PBS, and so they do get sponsored. And even if the company that sponsored them isn't the best, they'll be honest and say, "Look, they sponsored us, but they're not the best product for this." And they've said that in their episode, so I appreciate that. Now, again, they have 1,000-page cookbook, and what they've done, which is brilliant, is they've broken that cookbook up into several different ways if it takes you a different ways to consume. So again, now most of these recipes in this cookbook are most likely in their original cookbook, and I got the one that was from when they started to 2020, right? They may have a new edition with 2021 that has even more recipes in it. So what they've done with all those recipes is they put them in different types of cookbooks. So like there's this one, Make Ahead. They have a summer one. They have a fall one. They have, what was the other one I had got from them? Oh, they got a one pot one. So anything by America's Test Kitchen, I'm down to read. Even though I own the thick one, I like the way they've broken them up so that the big one is more, again, like a reference book. And so for me, I go there not just looking for recipes, but for the best garlic press, the best pasta maker, the best, all those kind of things. So those are like the type of things I look up, right? When I go to that one. But when I want recipes, I appreciate when they've done stuff like this. They broke it out. I don't own this. This is from my library. All right. Fave graphic novel. So actually what's really crazy is I've really been digging this graphic novel right here that my husband got for me, 1602. And the premise behind this, and I think this one is volume 1. And the premise behind this is if they took all of the superheroes, and this is Marvel, I have to look because there's some superheroes I always forget that they're in the Marvel universe, and I always put them in DC in my head. I don't know why. But yeah, so they take Marvel superheroes and they take them and put them in the year 1602. So no technology, none at all, the yada yada yada. And this is so interesting. Now, fun fact, this author, don't like him at all. I have not liked any book I've ever read by that man except this. That's weird for me. It's so weird for me. But yeah, I've enjoyed this. Also started rereading this volumes. I think this is like volumes 1. So it's volume 3, but it has a collection of like over 7 actual novels in it. So the Black Panther, I'm covering up the name. And also I picked up a graphic novel from another graphic novel, young adult graphic novel from, oh my God, what is the name of it? X-Men. And it is called X23 Volume 1 is called Family Album. I'll try to put a picture here. It is about, if you watch the last Logan, if you watch the movie with Logan when the X-Man known as Wolverine, when he actually dies, there's a young girl in that book or in that movie who's actually called Experiment 23, and she is basically him but a newer version. Well, she in this graphic novel, she has a sister, and they're trying to navigate, trying to find out their origin and why they were cloned and if they have parents and all that kind of stuff. So it's really good. All right, so I think that's all the book stuff. Let's see if I got into any other stuff. Oh, okay. New favorite shows to watch. Okay, so I got one that I really like. It's called Warrior. Now this is interesting because the show started on Cinemax. It got canceled, and then HBO Max picked it up, and then they're gonna do a third season. So I finished watching season 1 and I'm in season 2. The show is about this gentleman who comes from China to find his sister, who was married off to a gentleman, and then she moved to America. And the interesting thing is, it talks about, like, at the time, basically the Asian, the immigration of Asian people to America, and how they did not have it so good either. Okay, the accent was supposed to be Jamaican, but it came out wrong. Anyway, so they did not have it so good either. Yeah, it's really interesting. It was really interesting to again. So I'm gonna just say this. I hope I don't. No, I'm not. I don't want the. I'm usually here for the smoke, but your girl's a little tired, so I'm not really here for the smoke tonight. Anyway, so it talks about like the work, like all of these white Americans who are not getting work because of these Asian Americans who are, these Asian, I guess they would be citizens at this time, Asian Americans who come here, who are, in their words, taking their jobs, because that's right, you can steal a job from someone. Okay, anyway, so not going any further than that. Anyway, so it talks about like that, the conflict, and then even within the little Asian community, there's conflicts because there's these, I forget what they call them. I want to say toggles. I'm saying it wrong, but basically fractions. And they each kind of like have their own thing that they're known for. Mostly everybody's known for opium, right? Molasses, or what do they call it? I think they just call it molasses. So that's interesting. There's fights. Anyway, so new favorite hobby: organizing everything. Organizing this office, organizing my baby's room, organizing the kitchen, organizing my bedroom. Listen, I'm just basically saying I'm just cleaning my house. That's all. That's my new hobby. I don't ever stop that hobby. Basically, I haven't picked up a new hobby. My house stays clean because I keep it on the schedule and I keep everything flowing on that schedule. So I was trying to be funny and say organizing, but I say organizing all the time. Random new habit. Okay, so the last thing is, one of the last things is new random favorite thing that my kid does. So she, up until recently, she has struggled with basically expressing herself. And when I say struggle very lightly, because I don't know if she struggled. I don't know if it was ever a priority for her to tell us how she felt, how she was doing, if she was sad. But she is doing that now, and she's very vocal. She will say things like, I don't like that. I don't want to do that. Even like if I say, like a great example is sometimes in the morning when she gets up, she just wants to get a book and she wants to come back into the bed and cuddle and read. Well, that's great for the weekends, but unfortunately for the weekdays, we have to go to school. So I'll try to get her to brush her teeth, and she'll be like, that does not make me happy. And I'm like, I understand that doesn't make you happy, but you have to do it because we have to go to school. And she'll be like, okay, but no, it does not make me happy. So it's really interesting to hear a 4-year-old like just matter-of-factly say, it does not make me happy. I'm going to do it. You know, I mean, pretty much she's saying, I'm going to do it, but understand it does not make me happy. And she just gives out random hugs and kisses. Like she will, my favorite is like, I'll be washing dishes or I'll be reading a book with her. We were sitting down one day and we were both reading a book. She was reading her book, I was reading my book, and she just leaned over and kissed me on my shoulder. And she just went back to reading her book. She didn't say anything. And then sometimes she'll just like, she'll walk up to me and say, I love you, and then just walk off. So yeah, my kid they've told me that she's a very like emotional person at school. Like she definitely hugs, and she's definitely like tells people all the time that she cares, or she'll even say, I miss you sometimes. So I know that she's like, it's cute that she does that. One of my favorite things she's done recently, like very recently, was on this past Saturday. A local town here had their 4th of July fireworks. So we went, and she spent the whole like 2 hours before the fireworks playing on the playground and running around. And then we finally got her settled down, and we sat down and watched the fireworks, and the fireworks started. And she was like, oh, wow. And then she looked at her dad and she goes, I am so happy. And when I tell you, I'm about to lose it again. When she told him she was so happy, she said, like, just, it wasn't prompted. It wasn't like, are you happy? It was just, I am so happy. Oh my God. You don't understand. Like going from a kid, like, I don't even know how to, okay. I don't even. Anyway, it just was so sweet when she looked at him and she was just like, I'm so happy. So it's my new favorite thing, her expressing herself, even though sometimes it's frustrating. Like sometimes in the car, when it's time to get out of the car, she likes small spaces sometimes. Like she likes to be in very small spaces by herself. And she wants you to get out the car, but she wants to stay in the car. So sometimes when I'm trying to get her out the car, she'll be like this. She'll be like, no, I'm happy here. Like she'll say that, I'm happy here. And I'm like, I understand that, but you got to get out the car. It's hot outside. You can't stay in the car and stuff like that. So yeah, that's my new favorite thing that she does, is that she's just like, I'm happy, like sharing emotions and all that kind of stuff. New favorite drink. So your girl has been making these mocktails. They are cocktails without alcohol. Now the reason they don't have alcohol in them is because I don't really drink like that. Okay, so I say that, but don't listen. Okay, so this past weekend, this long weekend, I think, yeah, I got into it. But other than that, I really don't drink like that. I don't drink a lot. Excuse me. So I don't have alcohol. However, I do enjoy making things, and I keep a lot of lemons and limes and fresh fruit on hand. So I started making like these mocktails, and I was able to control the amount of sugar and sour and all that kind of stuff that went into them. So yeah, that's my new favorite thing, mocktails. I even bought a little cookbook, or recipe book, I should call it a recipe book, for mocktails. I've made a bunch of them. They're really good. My husband likes them. I've done them all with natural fruits and juices, and so therefore there's no added sugar. And even when you're using simple syrup, I even cut that recipe kind of down a bit, because again, like if you're making a huge pitcher or something and you're trying to fill it up with, a fourth away with simple syrup, that's a lot of sugar. So I've cut that. So yeah, so we do that. So again, that's my faves. So I hope to keep these videos going in the future a little shorter. Hopefully, I probably will cut a lot of this out because it's just a lot. But until next time, you know what your girl's gonna say. Bye.